Now let's talk about Kansas. We've talked. This is where Pat Roberts is running against Greg Orman. This is again. I mean, one of the quintessential red states. This is what's the matter with Kansas. Kansas.
Right.
What's going wrong for Pat Roberts in Kansas that he's drawn this kind of very active and dynamic opponent?
Well, the one thing in Kansas is that the political environment there has had as much to do with the incumbent governor of Kansas, the Republican Brownback.
Yeah, Sam Brownback.
Who's very unpopular and whose measures pushed through the state legislature there have sort of dominated politics. And that's been a bit of a drag on Roberts. Roberts also had a very competitive primary as kind of a creature of Washington, D.C., nearly lost the thing. And then the Democratic candidate dropped out back in September, giving this independent businessman sort of a shot to say that he's not a Democrat, that he's an independent who might caucus with either party. And that's what's making this race competitive. The polling there, a little more sparse than in other states. It's been essentially even. The HuffPoster model gives Roberts an advantage of a point or two, although that doesn't mean a whole lot a week before an election. Could conceivably go either way. I think the Kansas is a place with a great big undecided, not surprising given the nature of this race. Nobody really knows. This is not a race with a whole lot of historical precedent. But the sort of conventional wisdom about it is that the bigger the undecided, the more potential there is for Roberts, just because it's such an overwhelmingly Republican state that those undecided voters are probably more Republican than Democratic too.
Right, and I think if voters catch wind of the fact that the stakes have become this determines the majority of the Senate, Republicans that maybe thought they were going to back Orman may pull back and go with what they know.
That may be, and by the same token, every national survey that's looked at it has found just overwhelming unhappiness with both parties everywhere, including Kansas, and so this might be the year that an independent has a hidden vote that we're not seeing in polls. So that is a race that is one of the most interesting to watch play out.